and here I'm making reference to graduates at primary level, wale ambao wanatoka katika kiwango cha secondary, wale wanatoka kutoka kiwango cha colleges, hata universities. Out of 1 million graduates, only 200,000 can be absorbed by our economy as of now. And I'm talking of both the public and the private sector. So this administration had to put their focus on matters employment. I know my sister here has tried the best that she can to give you seed capital so that you establish enterprises. But still, ambao hawana kipawa cha kufanya biashara, ambao watahitaji kuandikwa kazi. So what we have decided to do deliberately is, first of all, to create a conducive environment within the country to see whether our young people can be absorbed, but also to capitalize on the opportunities that are opening up in the international labor market. Again, let me go back to statistics, and I want you to listen to me keenly on this, kindly. The Western European countries have an aging population. The average age is about 45 years. Wote ambao wako huko ni wazee na wanazidi kuzeeka. I told you that the population in Africa will be young going forward, which is a major blessing. But their population is aging. Now, we are talking of developed economies, countries that have industrialized and their economics have expanded greatly, but they are missing the workforce to run these economies. I was with the German ambassador the other day, and he was telling us, kwa mikahawa, just cafes, they open only 3 days in a week, owing to the fact that they don't have enough cooks, they don't have enough waiters and waitresses. They can't run their hospitality industry, 24/7 as it's supposed to be. It's limited owing to the fact that they don't have enough workers. Industries, the same with the other sectors that obtain. Now, looking at history, the way economies have expanded, there are models that we can emulate. I want to cite South Korea as one of the models. South Korea took their young people to Japan and to Saudi Arabia and to Germany. Those are the 3 countries that they focused on about 30 years ago. The ones who went to Japan and got technology as it obtained there then were able to transfer the same technology back to South Korea. As it is currently, if you are talking of electronic goods, Samsung, TVs, mobile phones, and what have you, are at the same level in terms of the quality with the Japanese products. So what did they acquire? They acquired technology and brought it back home. Let me cite China also as an example. 40 years ago, China closed its economy. They sent their young people to Ivy League universities, in US, in Canada, and what have you, the Harvards, the Yales. They were able to get technology as it obtained then, transferred the technology back home, and then opened their economy. As it is, hata mkiangalia hapa, mtaona kuna Chinese products nyingi, pengine ni saa, pengine ni taa huko juu, the material that has been used for the roof. You literally look at what obtains around your environment. There is a Chinese product. So this was a strategy, a deliberate strategy that they employed. And that's the reason why I'm saying there are models that we can look at and emulate. So we are not just sending our young people abroad for unskilled labor. No. Our object is to send our young people who are skilled to be able to get technology as it obtains there currently and to bring it back home. Secondly, look at statistics last year. The Kenyans in the diaspora, they were able to remit $4 billion US. And I'm talking of the 4 million Kenyans who are all over the world. $4 billion US. Convert that into Kenya shillings. That's about 663 billion Kenya shillings. If we are to push it to even 1 trillion shillings, it will be a quarter of our national budget. That's how serious it is. So we're asking ourselves, even in terms of foreign direct investment, should we be dependent upon the Western European countries for an indefinite period of time? How about Kenyans who go out there, who are working hard and remitting this money back home? Because Kenyans are very patriotic. So what we are telling ourselves is this, my young people who are here in this room, kindly, so that you can understand these things in a comprehensive way. If we can conduct pre-departure training well, and appraise you that you are going out there as our frontline soldiers, go make savings, bring these savings back home and invest in our country, you can imagine the effect in our economy. You'll be able to establish enterprises that will employ your younger brothers and sisters. And therefore, the economic challenge you are facing of unemployment will be a thing of the past. So we are very determined and strategic in our thinking. We are not just sending you abroad for the sake of it, but there is a purpose and there is a reason. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd love the National Director of Housing to also tell, because youth is transitory. So once upon a time you were a young person. So I'd love you to begin there. The importance of young people in governance, because we have got quite, I don't call it a political, but there's apathy in a section of young people when it comes to the management of public affairs. Why is it important that they partake in the process? And briefly, you talk to us about housing in Ruto. We know you're doing quite a lot. I remember that Masiki spoke about kiss. By the way, Masiki, we kiss. We keep it short and sweet. So I love you to opportunity to say as you bring us up to speed. Kindly.
Thank you. Let me first of all,
lakini nilikuwa na msemo ambao Waafrika walitumia wakati tulipokuwa, when we were being colonized. Hatuwezi kusema matakwa yetu kama vijana yaangaziwe ikiwa sisi kama vijana hatuko pale ndani. Nashukuru sana chama cha UDA kikiongozwa na rais wetu wa Kenya kikasema, Mbarak, tutakupatia direct nomination kwa sababu wewe ni kijana na unatoka maeneo ya wakali kwanza. Most of us huwa tuko na shida moja, tunasema sina pesa, haiwezekani. But iliwezekana. Tulichemsha wazee wale ambao huwa wanatukanyagia sana, wakisema kwamba huyu kijana nitampiga ngumi za kizee. Mimi nikamwambia hatutumii ngumi, tunatumia akili. I managed to be number 2 nikipata 13,500 votes. Mungu ni mkubwa, na chama cha UDA na Kenya Kwanza kasema huyu kijana kupitia rais wetu na ndugu yangu mentor wangu Mheshimiwa Hassan Omar, kwamba huyu kijana anastahili kuwa katika bodi ya kusimamia maji pwani nzima. Katika hiyo bodi wote ni wazee, kijana ni mimi peke yake. Kwa hivyo vijana wenzangu, mwanzo na wavulia kofia sana namna mlivyojitahidi kutaka serikali iwasikize. Na naishukuru serikali kutupatia nafasi sisi vijana na ikatusikiza. Hadi kuwa na Comrades charter Ni serikali ya UDA na Kenya Kwanza peke yake ambayo iliweza kuwapatia sikio wa wanafunzi wa universities. Kwa hivyo tuitumie nafasi hii kwa hikma na busara ya hali ya juu. Shida yetu sisi vijana, tunataka kujua Western kunafanyika nini. Lakini muulize kijana chifu wake ama sub chifu wake anasema nini. Hajui information ya chini, anajua ya lile ambalo lisilomhusu yeye. Tuanzeni kutaka kujua huku chini. Chief anasemaje? Assistant chief anasemaje? Any government opportunities zikija, haziji kwa ofisi za juu, zinaanzia chini zikipanda juu. Na ndio maana tukasema bottom. Hiyo ni ya ukweli kabisa. Asante sana.
Kabla utoke hapo, na hiyo utanijibu baadaye, ninaambiwa wewe ulitoka Moi University, si ndio? Naambiwa kuna wakati fulani mkijaribu kufuata kwa miguu ya the mother of all universities, the grandfather of them all, the University of Nairobi, kuna wakati mlijaribu kusema nyinyi ni the University of Moi, ama kama wale wengine wa pale Thika Road walijaribu kufanya the University of Kenyatta. Hiyo tutajibu baadaye, lakini kwa haraka tu ningependa mgeni, dada mgeni, yeye ni mgeni wetu na pia jina lake ni mgeni, atuambie yake, atuambie your experience just a little bit. Kutoka hapo then tuta open up so that we have got a full hour ya engagement nyinyi na wageni wetu, sawa sawa. So atupatie experience yake kwanza, umuhimu wa vijana. Wewe ni kijana, tuko pale na Gen Z pale, yeye ni president tayari. None of you has got anything closer to a president. Yeye pale ni rais. Tuko hapa hivi na director, yeye pia atuambie experience yake kama kijana na kile ambacho mnafanya pale KICC.
Mimi kama kijana, and my experience kama kijana inaanzia where you are right now as comrade. Hapo ndo niliamua we have power. When we collectively come together, we have power. That was the first time tuko campus and we decided that we are going to make sure that young people are included in the jobs in our county. And we came together kama vijana wadogo. We formed a group and we call it Pwani Empowerment Network. And that network is one of the major reasons mimi nimekaa hapa, and one of the major reasons like Mombasa has very young people employed in counties. My experience, ama ile kitu kimoja ambao naweza waambia na ukaishika vizuri. No one is going to come and tell you, Joe, let's do this. No, lazima tujitole, lazima tutafute these opportunities. And this is where I'm coming from, saying that tuna so many opportunities ambazo ziko nazo within us, and that we have not been able to utilize them so that we can say we don't have opportunities. One, did you know that we have the most growing economy of 23% annually in the digital economy? Did you know that you can make money in Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, in all that? Those are the most objective opportunity ambazo ziko hapa. And we are very deliberate. When I say we, I meant the president is very deliberate because he initiated the 100,000 kilometers optic fiber. And right now we are at 10,000. Here it's very intentional to make sure watu wa Lamu and anyone can able to get the open market that is available. And I'm not saying this because it's something that is there. I have experience that I have been able to do. And I've been able to make money in the internet. Kwa hivyo, when we sit and try to say what is it that we want to do, we should first say what is there available. Let's start with what is there available as we progressively move. And I can assure you, when you collectively come at this Mombasa, the Comrade chapter, trust you me, this is the starting point of a participatory, inclusive approach to the government that we are taking. And it's so deliberate. Manake, we have all the answers to the solution. We have all the solution to the problems that we have. Kwa hivyo, I want us to just think about getting that opportunity ambayo iko hapa hivi sasa. Use it to your advantage as you progress, because their starting point is what is going to build you as a youthful Kenya. Thank you.
Can we give them a proper round of applause? Hayo makofi hayana nguvu. Hiyo makofi sio ya ki-comrade. Comrades power. Comrades transact. Comrades confirm. Comrades overpower. Sasa ningependa tuende kwa section ya pili. At least tumeweza kuwasikiza, pia tungependa tuweze kuwa na mazungumzo. Si ni muhimu tuweze kuzungumza? Inua tu mkono nione kama tuko pamoja. Comrades power. Hiyo iko na njaa sana. Comrades power. Comrades transact. Confirm. Viva comrades, viva. Haya, basi kuna maswali ningependa, kama kwanza kabisa ningependa tuchukue a round of questions. Nitasaidiwa na co-moderator wangu hapa ambaye ni MC, kuhakikisha kuwa tuko na microphones kwa at least the 3 major sides zile zenye tupo. Upate nafasi, na just a few people ningependa kurecognize. Tuko na executive ya Comrades chapter UDA, pali mko inueni mkono. Nimewaona inua tu mkono pale penye huko. Hii kufanya hii kazi ni kujitolea na kutaka kubadilisha nchi yetu. Just as a summary, as you prepare with your questions, ushers please pick your positions. As you prepare, I think as a summary, the notes I took from here is that the PS, for example, says that we can only, our economy at the moment can only produce about 200,000 jobs. Further into that, you will realize that the formal economy can only do 50,000 only. The other 150 ziko kwa what we will call the blue collar. And that is the core of why we in UDA and Kenya Kwanza are so concerned with the bottom-up way of doing things. Because we have got 10 million people in what we call the lottery economy. 10 million. Hao watu wanaamka asubuhi, kile ambacho watapanda nacho ndio cho watafanya. They have hao watu. So we are deliberately trying to move that. We bring capital from the top, put it at the bottom. We try to spur that so that pia waende juu. And this is the logic behind that. A lot of times people ask these questions. It takes about 3 million shillings to create one formal job. 3 million shillings per year. One formal job. If I brought that 3 million shillings to the bottom hapa kwa wale watu 10 million, we call the lottery economy. Watu wapata potea. Unaamka asubuhi hujui kutakuaje. If I brought here, it will support up to 60 jobs. So you see why we are deliberately going through that approach. Na nyinyi ni agents wetu. Nyinyi ndio rafiki zetu. Kama vile Barayana alisema ni kuwa you have got ideas. Young people have got beauty, they have got elegance, they have got speed, they have got ideas. Comrades, viva. Tuko pamoja? Are we ready? Tuko ready na maswali? Ushers penye mko, I'd love to see.
Asante sana mwenzangu, tunaingia katika kipindi cha maswali, lakini kabla hayo ni watambue viongozi ambao wamefika. MCA Bongewe, Mheshimiwa Tumaini Mwachaunga, Mheshimiwa Hon Ali Kitaka, MCA kutoka Pongwe Kikoneni, Mheshimiwa Omar Mwaduga. Tunaye pia kiongozi kutoka wadi uko Kwale, hajaandika jina lakini anaitwa Mheshimiwa Richard Itambo. Karibu. Tunaingia katika kipindi cha maswali. na ambao wako na maswali mtajibiwa na panelist. Mwenzangu, naomba endelee.
Kuna microphone pale, tafadhali tuanzie hapo.
MC.
Juu pale kabisa hapo. Nangoja wewe. Okay, kama bado anaangalia tuende hapa, tafadhali hapa. Unatupatia jina na university ambayo unatoka na swali lako.
Good afternoon everyone, my name is Endorsed. I'm a student at the Technical University of Mombasa. Thank you so much for this forum that we have today. I wish to give the thanks to the party and also to the Secretary General for organizing such a nice event. Like I said, my name is Endorsed. I'm an engineer, I'm actually intellectual, so it's nice to hear something good from an intellectual person. I'm intellectual, I'm an engineer. So my question is directed to Ngeni, who is concerned to digital literacy and ICT. So as Comrades, this is a Comrade chapter, so I'd like to ask a question to Ngeni. She said that the government, like this party that we voted in as Comrades that we like so much and we adore, we'd like to have that. I have a question regarding digital literacy and economy. Like she said that the government is engaging in talks and conversation, making sure that we have details concerning the Comrades through online, because Comrades are persons who engage online and most of the time they find themselves online. So we have those platforms that have not been invented and that the Comrades may have that opportunity to express themselves. So we have platforms like the Comrades have platforms where they get money, they earn in dollars and transact those money in Kenyan shillings. So we'd like to have those platforms be made so clear that the Comrades can get access to it, because Comrades, they have a policy that is called Kuinama. Comrades Kuinama! Yeah, Comrades Kuinama so bad. So we want their affairs to be heard and be able to be, like me, I'm serving in one of the associations where we have Comrades who are in distress and they don't have enough money to gather for a lot that they suffer. So like Comrades, the reason is why we have that policy called Kuinama. It's not that they do it willingly. It's because it's something they cannot avoid. So we wish that through this party, we have that online platform so that where the Comrades get opportunities to get jobs to be able to be heard and also get that chance to earn that money so that you can get rid of the Kuinama policy. Comrades power!
Thank you very much. Keep it, like we said, we kiss. Keep it short and sweet. If possible, direct. I'm waiting for the ushers on the other side, kindly.
Good afternoon. My name is Jokorin. I'm in Technical University of Mombasa. And my question goes to Fatma. And personally, I've never heard of Youth Empowerment Development Fund. And my question is, what are the key steps and the requirements for the first-time applicants to assess it? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashufa Khalid, the Academic and Finance Secretary, Mount Kenya University. My question is, who initiated the UDA Students' Charter and the main goals, and how will students benefit from it? Thank you.
Next, on this side.
Comrade power! Comrade power! My name is Sassi Shafi from Kenya Constitutional Polytechnic. The question goes to what of concern is concerning the school fees. As we all know that the government has promised to support universities and colleges by providing the help loan and the scholarship so that the students or Comrades from those institutions can continue with their learnings. But currently, the help loan have been delayed, and some students have failed to register for their exams. So some students do refer, because of lack of those scholarships, many students are not registering for their exams. Yet the government have promised to pay to support by providing scholarships. And when schools were supposed to be given a capitation of 22,244, this year and last year, the amount which was provided has been 12,000. So I think the government should look on this matter. Someone of his work is here because of school.
Thank you very much. I will also be recruiting my Secretary General HOH, and then I have got my treasurer around here, Honorable Nyakundi. They will also pick up some of these questions and respond to them. So just note them down. I'll actually be opening up that for them. And if possible, do your question very fast because kuna comrades wengi wanataka kuongea, si ndio? Still on this side.
Hey, good morning. My name is I'm a senior advocate, postgraduate from the University of Nairobi, 3 years now. And I wanted to say, I think we're losing the conversation. When we got here, people are not even excited we got here. Comrades power, hakuna watu hawachangamki. There's so much discontent from the people with the government. And then wearing this hat because I'm proudly a UDA member. This is all about the government. We are in government. UDA is the ruling party, and we have the chance and the opportunity to be heard as the youth who voted for this party into power. So we feel so much let down, so much frustrated, and I understand most of the students here, the students from university. I'm not in university, I finished university recently, but the economy, the life, the cost of living is really high. So as a person who's a member of UDA and who was interested and who's been in Mombasa for some time, I wanted to come here today to hear what you say that Mr. President has done for us. I got here and nasikia mtu anasema sijui Rigathi aende. Rigathi should be gone as per yesterday. That's not politics. We're not supposed to talk here.
No, the conversation.
I withdraw. Sorry, I withdraw that.
Ask the question so that we are sitting. This is a Comrades forum. We have got a theme. Please stick to it kindly. Yes.
I started by saying
Comrades power. Power. Comrades transact. Asiago, please ask your question.
Thank you. Let me have my mic on. I'll start with the student leader. I was actually frustrated with what you started with. Access to information. The demographic in the country right now, the youth have access to information. And that's why we are able to go on the streets and pull out all these things that are happening. What should be starting out, and that I clap with the guy Dakasema, school fees. That's what we as an ABA, useme sisi kama vijana who are in this party, who voted for this party, kindly propel our views.
Tusaidiwe. University is expensive right now. When I was in university, self-sponsored, we used to pay 27,000. That's not the amount they're paying right now. Mama Mboga, who voted
this government, it's not about students.
Thank you very much.
We're so lucky to be in power as a party. Let's not lose the conversation. I'm a graduate. Mr. PAs, these are graduates from university. We can't talk about taking our students abroad. I'm a law student. I'm a training advocate. Am I being taken to Europe to be in a paralegal farm or something? Please, an environment. I feel so hard. By the end of today, I'll be sure I'm wearing this hat back home as my UDA youth leader, or I'll just give it some and say.
Thank you. Comrades power. The one thing we are not afraid of as UDA is to talk. Like I told you earlier on, dialogue is difficult. That is why people fight. And we are so happy for that feedback. Afadhali uambiwe ukweli kuliko kufichwa, si ndio? Let's give her a good round of applause. So, To ensure that as many of you as speak, please keep it short and sweet. Sawa sawa. Kama ni kugonga, gonga. Kama ni kupitisha, unafanya nini? Unapitisha. Ushers please. Hapa katikati, hapa katikati. Ushers. Stand up.
Kenya, it is around 20% of the population we have graduates. So when you mention kuna opportunities za watu kwenda abroad, my head ilikuwa so anxious kumalize, ndio nikuulize if you take us abroad, tuna protect child protection, tutakuwa na grant. Hivi vizazi yetu nani ataangalia? We all believe watoto lazima walelewe na baba na mama. Mimi nikienda abroad, mtoto wangu ataangaliwa na nani? Generation Alpha would mean wamelack parents love ya baba na mama. So my urge is, why don't we have from the 20% job opportunities in Kenya, at least they improve mpaka 50%. And then tuangalie wale 20% ama 30% wenye wataenda abroad, his familia zao, can they go with them to tuhakikishe child protection iko, watoto wamelelewa na baba na mama. And why am I talking about child protection? University nafanya art and design, but my passion imedrift hapo katikati because there are so many vulnerable children and people do not speak. Utaangalia perpetrator, leo nitaenda abroad, nitamwachia mjomba mtoto, and he will be the perpetrator wa kumpa mtoto wangu.
Fair enough. I think the question is at home, so that we allow others to also ask questions. Hapa katikati tafadhali.
Majina yangu ni Aziza Ahmed Mohamed from Bandari College. Niwaambie kama dada yangu na swali lakini nitakuelezea dada yangu. Kama mimi nafanya marine engineering na Kenya hakuna meli. Kwa hiyo hivyo vyote ndipo cha marine engineering ninatoa nenda nje. Moja isaidi lakini. Kwa hiyo yes, nasema utafuta kazi. Tena nakujua hizo taasisi za toka lini. Tunachukua mkopo.
Next, tafadhali.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Tuka from Bandari College. I'm directing my question to Honorable PS Mwadime. Mimi nimesomea machine operations. So kuna hii shida sisi kama vijana inatutatiza huko nje. Unaenda kuitisha kibarua, unaambiwa unahitaji experience ya 5 years. Mimi machine zangu zote ziko KPA. Niambie hiyo experience ya machine ya KPA inaenda kuitoa wapi mtaani? At least I will refer kufanya wepesi pale, ingiza mtu kama intern apate uzoefu wa hizo machine ndio apate kupanda.
Asante.
Swali la pili kwa PS Mwadime, upande wa labor. Kuna ndugu zetu na kaka zetu, hata pia mimi mwenyewe ishanitokezea mojawapo katika maisha yangu kwenda kufanya kazi nje. Kufanya kazi nje Kenya muonekaniwa kama tunaenda kujitupa. Unlike nchi zingine kama Philippines. Serikali ya Philippines imepigania raia wao ikawapatia kuna kiwango fulani raia wao wanafaa lipwe. For instance, utasikia raia wa Philippines kwa kazi yote anayofanya duni, mshahara anafaa kulipwa at least is like 35,000. Wakati serikali yetu ya Kenya haiwezi kutupigania kwa sala kama hilo. At least mfanyikazi wa nyumba anaenda fanya pale kazi ya nyumba, at least the least amount should be paid like 30,000. Hizi marais wetu na viongozi wetu wakenda nje kwenda kuzungumza, huwa anazungumzia nini, ambapo haya ni mambo ambayo anafaa zungumzie. Kwetu sisi vijana itakuwa ni faida. Pili, PS Mwadime, ya tatu. PS Mwadime umetuambia kuhusu kazi za mavijana ambazo ziko abroad. ningependa na ningefurahia iwe ni rahisi sana kwetu sisi kama mavijana kuwe na hata ofisi ama mahali like Coast Region, Northeastern Region, Rift Valley Region, ambapo tunaweza kuaccess na tukaweza kujaza hizo form na tukaweza kupewa maagizo wa hizo kazi ili pia mavijana wapate kwenda nje. PS Mwadime, kuna mikutano mingi umekuwa kidogo.
Haya basi, uliza.
PS Mwadime, umekuwa ukifanya mikutano mingi ya mambo ya maritime ndani ya Bandari College. Right or wrong? Hiyo mikutano mingi imekuwa ikifanyika PS Mwadime, unajulisha ama unapata kuhamasisha vijana kuhusu hizo kazi. Hiyo mikutano haiishi. Ningependelea hiyo mikutano ikiendelea usimame hapo tuambie mpaka hivi sasa kutokana na mkutano uliopita vijana 20 wako melini.
Asante. Amefikisha maswali mangapi? Ameinject properly. Sawa sawa. Ningependa mwanaume mwingine. Aman. Comrades power. Comrades Sansact. Viva Comrades, viva. Hapa tumesema tunaongea. Fungua roho, sawa? Haya basi. I would like a man. Kumekuwa na girl children wamekuwa wengi sana. Nataka mwanaume mwingine.
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Zainab. Nilifanya tu STCW Bandari College like 2 months ago. So my question bado inaenda tu kwako. Sio swali lakini pia ni kama swali. Mimi niliweza kulipa na nikamaliza. Lakini tukitembea katika nyanjani tupata vijana wengi wanatamani kufanya kazi ya meli, especially wakisikia mshahara mdogo kwanza ni kama 90,000. Inawauma lakini hawana ule uwezo. Sisi hapa kama wewe PS utasaidiaje vijana? Manake kama inasemekana kuna venye mnahamasisha watu. I'm from Mjambere. Watu wa Mjambere hawana hiyo knowledge. I'm from Junda. Watu wa Junda hawana hiyo knowledge. I'm from Jomvu. Tutawasaidiaje hawa vijana? Manake sasa tunapata youth wengi sana wanakuwa stress, mtu anakuwa mwizi anauliwa, mwingine anafanya kitendo kibaya kinaonekana mtandaoni. Wewe kama PS utatusaidia vipi? Lastly, Madam Stephanie. Director Madam Stephanie. Naomba kazi hata kama utangazaji ama kuact. Asanteni.
So first and foremost ningependa kwanza tujibu maswali ya kwanza ya awamu hiyo. Alafu tuende kwa awamu ya pili. Sawa sawa? Haya basi tuelewane. Ya mwisho upande gani? Huu ama huu? Upi? Haya wacha tupige kura hivi. Wale watasema ai kwa sauti ndio nitapatiana hapa na hapa. Will as many as are willing.
University of Mombasa. My question will be brief.
Straight, kindly. Tumsikize.
How will the government support and fund youth leadership initiatives?
Asante, very straight hapa. Nataka niwapatie pale mwisho mtu mmoja. Haya wewe basi upewe mic. Leta microphone hapa. Microphone hapa. Mike. Mpe huyo wa mwisho huyu. No one else on this side kindly. Let's behave. No. This is the one talking here. Mpe kwanza huyo. Ngoja ongea wewe.
Thank you very much. My name is Robert Kigen. Nimetoka Taita Taveta National Polytechnic. Niko hapa na mambo mawili peke yake nikitisha alafu tumalize maneno. We have been advocating and laying down policies concerning jobs abroad. Thank you to our PS Mwadime. God bless you. Lakini kuna hawa vijana niko sure kabisa ya kwamba kazi yao ni uongozi. Wakati mmewapea nafasi ya kukuja hapa kuongea, Hamujawaambia kwamba muna lay down policy ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba from 2027 going forward hii nafasi ya MCA ikitengwa iko ya vijana kuna makosa. Tunang'ang'ania nafasi ya kutoka nje. Tukirudi tunataka kuongoza. Tumezeeka. Samaki amepigwa na jua, amekunjika. Ukimkunja anafanya nini? Si anakunjika? I'm asking this question. While the Parliament and the Senate is working on term limits and very many other issues, why don't we think about making the youth represent this country at the county assembly level? And with that, we will be able to advance the best governors of this country, the best presidents of this country, and the best members of parliament of this country. My name is Robert Kigen. Thank you.
Asante. There was the other guy, kindly. That will be the last person, then we answer them and then come back. Proceed.
Comrades power. Comrades transact.
What are we transacting? Kindly, we need to be transacting as at now. Now, I direct the first question to the PS from the State Department of Housing. Number one thing, my name is Omar from Pwani University, the Finance Secretary. So, while at Pwani University, we understand that this is the ruling party and we were promised heaven. Huh? Yeah. You talked of housing and you said that only 10% of the students in campus are accommodated within the campus, right? Not 10%, but sorry, it's 10%. The 90%, how wanakaa nje. So in Pwani University, we were promised hostels. Long time ago. Up to now, hakuna dalili zozote za ujenzi ambazo zinaendelea. Kindly, kama tunaweza angalia here. The second question, we are in coastal region. And this is Comrades chapter UDA. Sindio? And the target audience ni Comrades, right? Yes. These are students in universities, colleges, and TVETs. Sindio? So, hii inamaanisha kitu. It is symbolic. Kwa you're focusing on education. Sindio? Now, this education sector, we feel like we are segregated. We don't feel like we are part of this government. Why? Number one thing, we had a common problem, the new funding model, which we had several meetings at KSG, in Naivasha, and finally KICC, that was the final meeting. And I raised a concern on the cost of programs at KICC, if you're very keen. So the president promised to come up with a task force that will deal with all the issues arising from this new funding model. And in the task force, the coastal region, we only have one representative in those committees. So are we part of this government? And since it's Comrades chapter, the coastal region, how are we going to work around that now that it is already a problem? Finally.
That's the third one.
Finally. The Ministry of Water and Sanitation, we had an honorable member ambaye alitupatia testimony yake nzuri sana. So, in Kilifi, you said you're a regional coordinator, right? In coastal region. Sitauliza swali, ila naomba unipe siku moja yako, utenge siku. Utenge na ufanye. Siku moja. Tuende na wewe Kilifi. Uone what is happening. That is the only question that I'll ask. Above all, Comrades power. Comrades transact. Comrades disburse. Kindly, we have honorable members here. Tafadhali, do the necessary. We are hungry.
Mpigie makofi.
Ningependa kuwakumbusha kwamba mkutano huu Comrades waliitisha wakakuja kwa chama. Comrades walisema wanataka kuzungumza na chama, na kwa mara ya kwanza chama tawala kikawapa masikio. Hatujakuja kupigana, tafadhali. Comrades power. Tutasemezana, na ndio maana maswali yenu yataenda kujibiwa kulingana na vile mmeuliza. Tafadhali.
Wakati huu ni wape nafasi wale ambao ni panelists, na pia niko na wale watu ambao ni resource persons wangu. They know literally everything. Kuna maswali yameulizwa kama ya HEF, funding and everything else. By the way, do not be worried. Open up roho yako. Hii conversation like nimekuambia, we are not afraid to talk. We will love to talk. Sawa sawa? So there is no victimization. Toa, fungua roho. Sawa sawa? If we don't talk, sasa tutafanya nini? Tupigane? Si heri tuongee? Kwanza kabisa ningependa treasurer wetu na secretary general wa respond generally. There were issues about governance, there were issues around funding model. We have got resource people and they will respond. So I love microphones to come here. Ningependa Mheshimiwa Nyakundi ajibu maswali kadhaa, respond tu na aongeleshe pia. Alafu
Comrades power, Comrades viva, Comrades transact. Amjacheki manango zenu kama vitu zimeingia. Baada hazijaingia, mimi kama treasurer saa hii na transact nikikaa chini saa hizi. Sawa, vile mmesikia mimi kwa majina naitwa Japheth Nyakundi, MP wa Kitutu Chache North kule Kisii. Alafu mimi ndiyo mweka hazina wa hiki chama tawala cha UDA. First of all, I want to appreciate each and every one of you for coming here today. We started this chapter 2 weeks ago in Nairobi, and we said that as the UDA party, we have to come out and nurture the young people who are comrades. Let me tell you, I was also a student leader in the university, and that is the reason. Out of that experience I got as a university student and leadership in the university, that is the reason today I'm a member of parliament of Kitutu Chache North. So out of such programs, we say that we will nurture you and we will help you to get into governance, because we have so many people who have come from such structures to be in governance. Let me go straight to the point. I know as government, we've had our own issues, more so in communication. We've had the university funding model, lack of proper communication was done. We've had the SHIF, lack of proper communication was done. We have the National Employment Authority, and I want to thank God that PS Mwadime is here today. I'm the one who has been advocating for National Employment Authority everywhere I go, because the president has signed so many bilateral labor agreements, but these young people who are here today, they are not conversant of how to apply for those jobs, how to get those jobs, how to get the passports, and how they will get means to travel so that they can also earn a living out of the jobs that are in the National Employment Authority. Kweli si kweli? Kweli si kweli? Si wera ziko pale na nyie hamjui njia ya kuapply? Hata hamjui ni wera gani ziko pale? Basi sasa wewe utawaambia kazi zipi ziko pale na njia ya kuapply. I also want to thank you more sincerely. I want to thank you more sincerely, all the comrades of this country, because of accepting to sit down with government so that you can solve the issue of the university funding model. Hii story ilileta shida nyingi na mlikubali. There is a committee that has been formed so that they can be able to talk about the university funding model that has become a problem. Sincerely speaking, the other model had its own problem. We thought that by bringing this new model, we are able to solve the problems that are there, but out of that, there is a hiccup kidogo, and which I believe, if there is one person who has been chosen from here, I want to assure you, we will talk with government, we will talk with the PS and the CS for education. We make sure we add at least 2 people from this region so that they can also be included in the rest of the committee that is there, that is talking about the university funding model. You've talked about the amount of money that is coming as capitation. So far, the government has been able to release 2.8 billion for scholarships. The new funding model, they've released 8.6 billion. For help, they've released 5.8 billion. Capitation, they've released 3.8 billion. The money that has been released for the issues to do with university is a total of 21 billion Kenya shillings. And we want to assure you, the way the cabinet secretary had said through the intervention of the president, that nobody will be chased out of school because of lack of school fees until this whole thing is they've sat down and resolved the issue of the university funding model. Simuliambiwa kila mtu aingie kampo akule mbuku kwanza tukingoja to solve the issue. So I want to assure you, ya kwamba there is nobody who will be chased, and everyone will do exams for the time being until this whole issue is resolved. So Mr. Kinichapiane maneno mingi, mimi tu kitu nitasema ninawashukuru, na in case of any other question, that is what I wanted to talk about, especially the university funding model and the amount of money that has been released. I know there's a young guy who said, there's a comrade who said about the money that has been released last financial year was 12,000 Kenya shillings. Yes, as a country we've had problems to do with the financing of our budgets, and as time goes by, this time round, I want to assure you that the amount of capitation that will come to our schools will increase, because ile zile issues tulikuwa nazo za kulipa madeni, at least sasa we've reduced it and we have enough money for capitation. So I want to assure you, this financial year, because I also sit in the budget committee of the Republic of Kenya in Parliament, that the money that will come for capitation will surely increase to where it was of 22,000 Kenya shillings. Siada munipigia makofi majamaa. Kutoka hapa ndio ni transact. Comrades power! Comrades power! Comrades transact. Siwacha nipatie SG pia ya wachapie.
Asante sana. I will actually respond to a young lady there. Aliouliza, what is this chapter all about? Led by Brian and the Vice Chair Zainab and others, Minili wasili kama Secretary General about 2 months ago, conscious that this is the only party where the Secretary General of the party was one day chairman of Moi University Student Organization and also the chairman of the Kenya National Student Organization. Ndani ya hiyo, my chairperson, Governor of Embu, I met her on the streets of Nairobi in 1998 when we were agitating for better pay for teachers and the democratization of Kenya. She was that time vice chairperson of the Student Union of Egerton University, SWEO. Tukasema, these young people are exactly where we were about 2.5-3 decades ago. Looking for hope, looking for an opportunity for leadership, looking for an opportunity to be heard. In my first request to the president, I told him, our vijana are exactly where Cecily and I and Aaron Cheriot were many years back. I think it's important that we are a listening government. The president has listened, UDA will listen. And that's why you are here, to ensure that you become an effective conduit for information sharing and information dissemination, and where possible tupeleke hii information tukayoipata inform part of our public policy, because we are a government. Ile kitu mimi nitachanga hapa ama nitakusanya hapa itaenda katika neck ya UDA, itaenda kutoka neck ya UDA itaingia katika serikali ya Kenya Kwanza as policy, so that we can improve ourselves. Number 2, sisi hapa tumekaa hapa leo because it's time also we started to listen. That's why I asked some of these policymakers, and I have great respect and appreciation to them for having found time to come here. Mwadime knows the questions he is going to be asked, not only in this one, but we'll tag him along all over the country. These people need to know. You need to face them. You need to address the issues of employment so that they can be able to engage with government. You are the policymakers. You must now face the people to explain and canvass your policy for not only public participation, but for better understanding of government policy. Kwa hivyo sisi tuko hapo. Na ya mwisho, before I give back the policymakers, kuna mambo nitakuja siku moja bila mic niwaambie vile tutapanga. Mimi pia nilipanga nikiwa huko chini. My first politician for me to meet were 3 people at the same time. And the mentorship they gave us is what today has given us the opportunity to actually lead the ruling party and the biggest party in this country. Nilipatana na Raila Odinga, nikapatana na James Orengo, nikapatana na kina Anyang' Nyong'o when I was a student leader Moi University in 1998. And they gave us an opportunity. And they gave us the ladder to climb. And we who have used those ladders must now give that ladder to others so that they can get to the same place. Wale Mwenyezi Mungu amewapa fursa, mukapata uwezo wa kuwekewa ngazi, it is important that you provide the ladder wenzako pia wapande katika hiyo ngazi. Na wewe ndugu yangu uliosema about MCA, sijui tuweke age limit. Haina haja, tutawaingiza bila age limit. We will have a deliberate policy, because if we try that constitutionally, it will be a discrimination against age. Wajua katiba ya Kenya, baada ya rights of the youth, iko rights of the elderly person. Usidhulumu yule kijana na pia usidhulumu yule mzee. We must be a balanced government and a balanced state. Kwa hivyo lakini kuna namna, sijui mlisema occupy. Mimi nitafungua hii chama, mtaoccupy hiyo UDA. Mlango wa mbele, usipite kwa dirisha, usipite kwa mtaro, usipite kwa kichochoro. Hii kupitia Comrades chapter na kupitia elections zetu na kupitia stakabadhi zetu utaingia ndani ya hii serikali. Na wale ambao watajikakamua, we will have an affirmative action program for young women. We'll have affirmative action programs for other special interests, including youth and people with disability, so that they can venture their skills katika nyinyi. In the years to come, one of you, by God's will be president and the cabinet will come from you. Na hiyo ndio tunaweka msingi, hata tunajenga a leadership academy. Hata mimi na huyu ndugu yangu treasurer, kijana chipukizi, huyu ndo aliotoa Jimmy Angwenyi kitutu chache. Jimmy Angwenyi alikuwa amekwama, ndugu yetu Nyakundi akaja akangoa. Na nyinyi pia kuna watu mnaliza mwende mungoe ili tuhakikishe we have a youth leadership. Na hapo tukifanya hivyo, what we want to do is to ensure that this party, which we are building an academy hopefully very soon, itakuwa mwinyi mkija vile ukisema unataka masomo, vile unaenda kustudy maritime, unaenda kustudy law, sisi pia tutakuwa na school of government, school of politics. We'll create leadership academies and nurseries so that wewe pia uweze kujiangazia, so that you can become a leader not of tomorrow, of now, tomorrow and the here, hapo mbele ya safari. Kwa hivyo we have all that. Na ile assurance ambaye ndugu yangu Nyakundi amewapa, na hii si kwa kujisifu. I'm the senior most ranking member katika hii serikali kutoka Pwani as UDA. Kwa hivyo kama I'm grateful you brought it to our attention, kama yuko mtu mmoja. Sisi watu tunavamia, hata ukiangalia hapa wale vijana, Sir Stephanie director, huyu Fatma chairperson, huyu nani na Barak director, Mgeni director, wako wao kina Mwahima director, kuna machairman, hata yule rais alipatia kuwa transport PS ambaye anawakilishwa na chairman wetu wa bandari za huduma za bandari KPA, ambaye ndugu yetu tayari anaitwa Mohamed Dagar, was appointed a PS at the age of 34. Na anatoka hapa tu mitani, sijui hapo hapo Old Town. Kwa hivyo we are here to ensure equal representation, to ensure respect and to ensure that comrades are heard. Na mimi nikisema comrades power, I just don't mean it. I just don't say it. I mean it. I mean it because I was once a comrade. Once a comrade, always a comrade. A comrade never dies, he simply fades away. Kwa hivyo, kwa hayo mengi, tafadhalini, let us listen to the Kenyan people as a government and let us respond. We might have the answers. Where we don't have, we will continue to engage. Tukitoka hapa tutakaenda maeneo mengine. Tell them of how good this is, and we will ensure you that some of them must give you timelines about when these solutions will come, so that talk must meet action. Kwa hayo mengi, Mungu awabariki.
Microphones hapa mbele. Asanteni sana katibu mkuu wa chama na mweka hazina. By the way, tukileta microphones hapa ningependa tu kuambia kuwa treasury wetu by the way ni boy. Hiyo mwili sikudanganye, ni jeans tu, kanyama, zile jeans zake kanyama kidogo na kwenda gym. Otherwise is just ni boy kaa nyinyi. Na anawafeel, si ati anasema tu ni kaa nyinyi. So hii ni chama ya vijana. And we as UDA have decided one thing, that we will be on the side of the people. Mkitaka waziri tutaleta. Yeyote yule pahali mna shida tutafanya nini? Tutaleta. Kwa sababu the voice of the people is the voice of God. Sawa sawa? Kwa hivyo msijali, tuko na nyinyi and we will be back. Ningependa tuanze na PS. A respond kwa sababu maswali mengi sana yalikuja kwake.
Asante sana MC, na nataka nimshukuru pia Secretary General kwa kunikaribisha nije hapa nisikie maswali yenu, kwa sababu nitayajibu yote. Nianze na lile swali ambalo liliulizwa kuhusiana na matembezi yetu hapo mbeleni nilipokuwa PS Shipping and Maritime, na kwamba matokeo yake yako wapi. Now let me also possibly ask, how come there are some areas where we have not received government functionaries coming to appraise them concerning the government programs and plans that are in place? Now, when you listen to the two of them, you can see openly there is a conflict. One is saying you haven't come, and the other one is saying umekuja mara nyingi sana, tunataka tuone majibu. Yes, I did serve as a PS Shipping and Maritime about a year ago. And yes, it is true, I went round appraising young people within the coastal region concerning the opportunities that are available within the blue economy. Because let me tell you the truth, we have just scratched the surface of the blue economy. Hatujaanza bado. You can see examples of countries that have developed as a result of exploiting the resources within the blue economy. Britain, for example, huko Dubai, nasikia huko kunaitwa Dubai, mahali ambapo utajiri umejaa sana, it was as a result of the blue economy. So I was not wrong in terms of the policies I was putting in place to ensure we expand the blue economy, because this is a major resource at your backyard and you need to benefit immensely from it. It is not right that young people in coast regions suffer from unemployment and yet there are opportunities available within the shipping industry. So what I decided to do is this, by the way. Nilipoingia niliona Bandari Maritime Academy, the dropout rate was extremely high. So to curb that, kwa sababu wazazi walikuwa wanalia kwamba hawana uwezo wa kusomesha watoto wao Bandari Maritime Academy, I picked Kenya Maritime Authority, which was my semi-autonomous government agency, and I insisted that they must give a seed capital of 50 million shillings to begin with. It's now at 100 million. But at that particular time, we began with 50 million shillings, which we actually took to Higher Education Loans Board, so that mwanafunzi wote wa pwani ambaye anahitaji kufanya marine engineering ama anahitaji kufanya STCW ama masomo yoyote yale ya Bandari Maritime Academy ambayo yatamwezesha kupata kazi within the blue economy can apply for a loan from Higher Education Loans Board. We made it a revolving fund. You complete your studies, ukienda huko nje, because as you well put it, the minimum one can earn is $1,000, which is about 150,000 per month. It will not be a challenge for you to repay it back, so that your younger brother and sister can also access the same. So I'm proud to say that as it is currently, it's at 100 million. And we are pushing KMA even more, so that mtoto wote wa pani ambaye anahitaji kufanya masomo ya Bandari Maritime Academy yoyote yale kuhusiana na shipping apate nafasi hiyo, akamilishe, alafu anze kufanya kazi huko ugaibuni kwa shipping companies. Now, let me say this, because you have challenged me concerning the results. I'm again proud to say I pushed MSC CGM, I actually pushed all the shipping companies that dock on the port of Mombasa. CMS CGM, as of now, as you well know, have entered into a partnership with Bandari Maritime Academy, where they take 26 of our young people for internship for 1 year. Why is that necessary? Because when it comes to maritime jobs, sea time is as critical as for pilots, ile time ambao wanatumia for flying, so that they can qualify. Sea time is critical. And therefore I insisted, CMS, CGM gave us an undertaking. As it is now, 26 young people from Bandari Maritime Academy and other universities that are offering marine engineering can afford to go out for a whole year so that they can qualify for jobs abroad. Maersk is another big company that docks here, and they have a big office also here. We had negotiations with them, and they accepted to pick 10 young people to begin with. And the program was actually announced recently by my successor, PS Kaituku, that they will now be taking a number 10 young people outside so that they can gain the sea time experience, which is critical for them. MSC, Mediterranean Sea Company. This is a company that owes its allegiance to us because they began their business here by making use of our port of Mombasa. We entered into an agreement with them to pick 1,500 young people to work not only in their cargo ships but also in their cruise ships. Cruise ships, as it is, the jobs in cruise ships ni kazi ya mabilionea. Hile ni mabilionea wanazunguka dunia mzima. It's not only the minimum monthly, salary that you get, but even the tips that you get amount to nearly $3,000. This is information that has been lacking, and therefore, my brother, that is the reason why I've been going round to meet young people, particularly within the coast region, and I was also able to go to other parts of this country to appraise them concerning the blue economy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to be strategic in terms of exploiting our resources. We cannot afford to continuously come up with policies that are not implementable. We must be strategic enough to be able to exploit these resources for your own good. Let me tell you the truth. The resource base in Africa can make this continent the richest in the world. There's no question about it. The only challenge is the expertise and the capital that is required for us to exploit these resources. Let me go back to the blue economy, just so that you can understand it well. In terms of green energy, you can produce energy from the wind. You can produce energy even from the waves. There is technology for producing energy from the waves. You can produce green energy from solar energy. So that is just a part of the sectors in our economy. How about pharmaceuticals? Israel has gone way further to exploit the blue economy for pharmaceuticals. Can't we also do the same? Leave alone the seabed, the resources that are available within the seabed. So what I'm talking about is not just things that I'm imagining. I have facts. You can look at history, the countries that were able to develop over time, and I'm not wrong in saying that these are the resources we can exploit within the coastal region for your own good. Now, let me come back to the young lady who raised a question concerning our local economy. I totally agree with you. We should not be talking about jobs abroad, whereas we can create jobs within. Now, the reality is the government has established the special economic zones. As you well know, there is even one that has been established here in Coast. But other than that, the EEZs that we have, even within, we have 5 of them. I was able to take some visitors who came from Africa, by the way, when we had a meeting of African maritime cabotage, programs or projects. I took them to Kilifi, huko Mtwapa. One company is able to employ 3,000 young people. Vijana 3,000. ambao wanaandikwa pale kutengeneza garments na manguo na nini ambazo zinaenda huko ng'ambo, exploiting the AGO Act. So in essence what I'm trying to say is we're also trying the best we can to create a conducive environment within Kenya for investors, so that when they come over, they can also offer you employment within. We are not just focused on export alone, labor export. We are also focused in ensuring that our economy expands, so that as many of our young people as possible can also secure employment within. And I totally agree with you. You are young, you have families. This is a very critical time, you know, matters child protection must be taken into consideration. But this is what we are saying, by the way. We are not talking of labor migration, for people to migrate and go abroad permanently. No. We are talking of labor mobility. Young as you are, with the expertise that you have, you can go abroad, work for 3 years, then come back home. So we are not saying that you should go there permanently. Secondly, the bilateral labor agreements that we have signed so far are taking into consideration those interests. Germany, for example, when you go to Germany and you secure a good, employment there, you actually move with your family. They allow you to go with your spouse. They allow you to go with possibly 1 or 2 children that you have, so that your social life is not affected at all in any way. It's not affected adversely at all in any way. You can move there for 3 years, work there for that period of time, come back home with your family and invest that which you've been able to save. So we are taking into consideration those factors. I know Saudi Arabia has been a bit of a challenge, I must confess. But what we are doing now is we are negotiating bilateral labor agreements that are human rights based. So that ile mambo ya zamani ambayo ilikuwa inasemekana ukienda na passport yako itachukuliwa, ukienda huko utafanya kazi siku 7, upatiwe hata siku 1 ama 2 uweze kupumzika. We are bringing that to an end by signing new bilateral labor agreements that are purely human rights based. So give me an opportunity to come and explain these programs to you, instead of chasing me away and saying hapana hatutaki. Bring me on board so that I can appraise you, even my fellow PSs and cabinet secretaries, because this is critical information that you need for your own good. Thank you.
A good applause to the PS. He's really taken on to those questions. Thank you. I'd love to give the other panelists just 2 minutes each to respond to any issue. If you don't have anything to respond to, you can actually just pass.
Thank you so much. I think there was a question asked by Chep Korir. Comrades, there are offices in the 47 counties for Youth Enterprise Development Fund. The other thing I would like to mention is that statistics show that 78% of us youth engage in online platforms, but unfortunately 61% of us fail to engage ourselves in matters, politics or opportunities. We just choose to ignore. Mine is to urge my fellow youths that we need to engage in most of the activities that are online, that there are government opportunities in it. For instance, how many of you know that there's Youth Fund in Facebook, Youth Fund in X, and Youth Fund in Instagram? Do you guys take time each day to engage in those platforms? Because we normally post our products there, and we normally post any opportunities for the youth on those platforms. So from here, kindly make sure that you engage us, and make sure you visit our pages in Facebook, Youth Fund, X, Youth Fund. Chep Korir asked about how you can access the Youth Fund. Like I have said, there are offices in each and every county with officers. The other thing, we normally do a routine training. Most of the times we get invites through the administration from national government, that is through barazas and whatnot. But unfortunately, most of the youths choose not to attend those sessions. That is why my dear sister Mboto has said, the opportunities start from here. You've heard about the Comrades Charter today.
today, you've decided to come. When you hear about those barazas, please come. When you hear there are any trainings, probably by different organizations, be there, because the government engages with stakeholders, and in such meetings, that is when you tend to understand what's going on or how you can access this fund. Youth Fund has different types of loan products. When I became chairperson, I first of all took time to understand what are the issues. I must confess, myself, I didn't know about Youth Fund until the day I was appointed as the chairperson. But I said this must stop and this must not happen again. That is why I took time to engage with youth in different platforms in each and every county. So I realized some of the challenges we were having previously was with regards to accessibility of that loan. Vijana wengi walikuwa wanasema kwamba sheria ni nyingi hivi na vile, iko juu, hatuna security. So as a board, we decided to amend our credit policies, and right now you can take as little as 20,000, because wengi wenu mulikuwa mnasema 100,000 ama 200,000 hamuna security, but with 20,000 you can start any job. Unaweza chukua 20,000, unaweza chukua 50,000, unaweza chukua 100,000, and the payment plan is also very reasonable. Sisi, when we give you the funds, we just don't give you the funds, we offer trainings. I know you come up with your idea when you visit our offices. We take you through those ideas. Tunakuonyesha ni njia gani you can make your business sustainable. So we are there for you, na sisi tunakusema kwamba tafadhalini kujeni muchukue. Most of the people here in Coast, they are like, Barayan, sisi hatujaona kazi yako. But you'll be shocked. There are so many youths in Mombasa and in Coast and even in the country who have benefited from the Youth Fund. The only problem as youths ni kwamba hatutaki kujulikana kenye tunafanya. First of all, we are avoiding KRA. First of all, sijui tunaogopa wazazi wetu, hatutaki wajue chenye tunafanya. Lakini ninaweza confirm na data tuko nayo, and we can even share it anytime you want. Most people have benefited from Youth Fund. Kwa nini musiangalie katika platform zetu pia? We normally post those success stories. And interesting enough, wengine wenu hapa mumeweza kuanza kutoka chini kupitia Youth Fund na mumekuwa na biashara kubwa sana. Lakini nashangaa kwa nini hamutaki kujitokeza ili kuonyesha wenzenu ni faida gani mutapitia kutoka Youth Fund. For you to acquire Youth Fund, you must have a registered business. The reason why most of us don't take that loan is because we don't want to be risk takers. We don't want to register those groups. We don't want to register those businesses. But how do you plan to proceed? How do you plan to be successful economically in life if you don't want to take that risk of probably registering a company or even a group? The other challenge, mukikuwa kwa hizi CBOs which tunawapatia pia pesa, munakosana, wengine wanasafiri, wengine I don't know what happened, munakuwa tu personal, CBOs zinavunjika. So on our end, we try as much as we can. Those trainings are important because tunawaeka pamoja. Lakini kikundi kikuja kwetu kuanza kuchukua pesa ya biashara, wengine hawakuji training, na ndio maana unasikia after some time wengine wanapotea na pesa, and then when it comes to recovery, it's also a challenge in some of the parts of the country. So mine is to tell you, you can apply for Youth Fund as long as you have a registered business. As long as you want to start a business, it's possible. Mulikuwa mukisema hatuna security, hatuna nini. Sasa tumeweka kuanzia chini 20,000. Tunasema kazi ni kazi. With 20,000 you can start a small business. You can sell fruits, you can sell whatever. Everything is possible, si ndio? Kuna wengine wetu wamechukua hizi pesa wakaweza kufaidi na wakaweza kutengeneza nafasi za ajira kwa wengine. Kwa hivyo yangu ni kuwasihi tu vijana wenzangu, ikija upande wa access to funds. The young lady there amesema after law school hajapata kazi. Let me tell you my story maybe briefly. When I got admitted to the bar, you know, nilikuwa nimefanya kazi law firms nyingi before being admitted. But immediately nilimaliza nikaona sasa what else am I going to do in my life, kwa sababu nishapata ile experience, lakini pia kupata kazi ni shida. You know, I took the risk of starting my own law firm. Kwanza nilianza sina ofisi, lakini nikaanza kufanya ile freelance, na mwisho niliweza kuanzisha ofisi polepole. And then sometimes you realize that it's not about your career. Sometimes you could do law, but there are so many opportunities out there. You don't have to practice. What you need to do is to engage these organizations. There are so many organizations that deal with human rights or law matters for that matter. But have you engaged these organizations? Have you engaged the government stakeholders? Have you engaged these women initiative programs, women economic programs? So kama vile Mboto amesema, lazima ujitokeze utafute ile opportunity. You can't just sit right there and say that mimi nangoja nitaitwa. Nobody is going to call you. You have to go out there and get these opportunities. When it comes to matters governance, I want to tell you about myself. I vied for women rep in 2022 under the UDA party, and I became second. Lakini, like I said, I am a law. I did law. I am an advocate. Lakini, I didn't see myself being in politics. But because of ile passion na kuformulate policies, but because of actively participating in such forums, nikajipata nimeingia kwenye siasa. And through that, I've gotten an opportunity to work in government and formulate policies and do that public service and provide services to the people. So, my dear sister, if I am here and I'm just 33 years old, you can also do it. Usikae uka. And then most of the times, let's try not to think about the negative things. You know, you spend 90% of your brain kufikiria mimi sina kazi, hawatufanyi hivi. Like I said, we the youths are the solutions. We have fresh perspective. We have solutions to the challenges. Why don't you ask yourself, what can I do right now to help myself and to help the other fellow youths? Because during elections, I think 40% of the youths had registered to vote. But unfortunately, out of the 40%, only 50% went to vote. Now you're asking yourself, had you gone out with in large numbers and voted for the right leaders? Na historia kuwa sijui tumekatiwa na mheshimiwa fulani last minute, then you tend to vote for the wrong leaders. Hizo shida ndio maana zinatuleta hapa. Hizo shida ndio zinatufanya tunalalamika, atuangalie serikali ni yetu nini. Choose wisely, vote wisely, engage wisely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, comrades. This today makes me remember my student days with a lot of nostalgia. I used to ask those kind of questions, very tough ones, but I never thought I would be on the other side being asked such questions and expected to give answers. But thank you so much. Omar, you directed a very direct question about Pwani University. Yes, we received the application for Pwani University. We are currently completing a modular design for all the universities because we have received applications for doing student housing in all the universities in Kenya. We have received also from TVET over 300. Currently we have finalized for the TVET. We are doing 78,000 beds in TVCs from the application that we have received. We embarked on a modular design that can be replicated very quickly because this is a serious problem. It's a serious challenge. And this TVC should be rolled out within next month. We are going for advertisement. In terms of the coast region, we have 24 TVCs and we have 8,000 beds which we are going to do out of the 78,000. Pwani, we roll out with the rest of the universities. We want also to discuss with the students about our designs. We have held several meetings with other universities. We will still come back here to Mombasa, but we expect before December we also roll out at least 1,000 beds in all the universities. Let me also try to answer the issue of job creation. And as I mentioned earlier, this industry is also expected to create a lot of jobs for the youth. For example, country next week, we are bringing the contractor, 2 contractors for a project of 2,000 units, affordable housing units in Nyali. We also have a market at the same site that we also hold 1,000 traders. During this construction period, it will be expected this program in Mombasa for just that one project to create over 10,000 jobs. These jobs are not only kazi ya mjengo. We have clerk of works, we have architects, we have engineers. They all be employed in this project. This not to mean the other professionals from the technical vocational training, like plumbers, other artisans, like electricians. The jobs are immense. Let me also say that we have 9 ongoing small markets in this region. These are also likely to hold over 100 per market traders. And this goes back to the manifesto of UDA, which we are also ensuring that we are capturing what the people say they want. Let me also say that one of the biggest problems that we have been experiencing in the construction industry is skill development. Yes, you get out of class with your diploma, with your degree, with energy, but the skills are not yet there. For us to be able to achieve and ensure that students also get the skills necessary, we are providing internship to students when they are in school. And we are working with the relevant ministry and the TVETs to work towards ensuring that we have internship positions for students when they are in school. And this is why we have spread all these projects across the country so that you don't have to travel in far distances to get internship. We are also giving similar internships for skills after leaving university. We are working with the professionals, engineers, planners, architects who have established, and we are giving them at least 10 young students to train and work within our projects. And this is also going to give more training to our people. When it comes to giving small other jobs and bigger jobs, we are working with the jua kali sector to grow them into companies that can be able to get bigger jobs by separating certain some specific products within the build environment, like doors, windows, balustrades, and this one we are giving to these SMEs so that they can be able to get contracts, and we are also working with the banks so that the banks can also be able to give loans to these SMEs so that they can be able to make supplies. So we guarantee as a State Department to this jua kali through our contractors so that they can be able to do this work and supply. Meaning, we are not only giving mjengo kazi. You can start your own business. You can work with the existing business and grow. And this is the way to grow these small cottage industries. And this is what we have run. Other countries did. Countries like India, things like tiles, they have not been done by big industries. They are being done by small cottage industries. And this is what we want to encourage in the construction industry. It has been used in many countries to develop countries. Let me diverge some little and go to leadership. Leadership. We have very few political seats. And I know some of the politicians who are elected. I have quite a number of many of friends. They tell me it's a very difficult job. But I want to say leadership is not only on the MCA, Senator, MP. No. When I was 35 years, I was a chairman of a TVET college in my home. Is not that leadership? Is it not leadership? If you are a president or a member in the leadership of a professional organization, are you not a leader? Are you not a leader? I have been also a member of a CDF. Was I not a leader? So don't get just interest in these political seats. There are so many leadership positions. Even the position I am holding as a director of housing. Am I not a leader? Thank you. So guys, venture into various leadership positions. There are so many. It also starts with the family. Even me as a father, I'm also a leader, isn't it? So also get a family and be a leader as well. There are so many opportunities. Thank you.
We promise that we'll take a second round of questions, then we can allow the others who've not spoken to probably chip into that. We'll give them the first priority. But because we are going to about 12:30, some people want to go and pray, and we have got other engagements. We promised that we would be done by 1. I'd really just want us to go with 3 questions. 1 from this point, 1 from here, and 1 from this end. I want 3 ushers standing there so that we sort and we don't take a lot of time. 3 ushers with the mic. Control room, do we have extra mics, please? An usher here, kindly. Do you have a mic? In between here, do we have an usher here?
Okay. Comrade.
Mimi naitwa Vincent Ohoro, mimi ni president kwa university. Na swali
langu ni kwa PS. Kulikuwa na hii nini ya kazi mtaani. Sijui kwa nini ilitolewa, lakini hiyo kazi mtaani ilikuwa inatusaidia sana. Mara nyingi utakuta kama sisi kama Comrades tumefunga shule, at least unaenda pale unafanya kazi, umejua at the end of the day unaccumulate zile pesa zako. Wakati utakuwa unarudi shuleni, at least utakuwa na kitu mfukoni, ile ambayo unaweza saidia nayo mzazi kwa fee. Ingine wewe pia uache kukula kama kuku, lakini ukule kuku. Ya pili ni kwa director wa affordable houses. Mna wazo nzuri sana kwa kujenga hizo nyumba kwa baadhi za institutions, kwa sababu number 1 itasaidia ku improve mambo na security issues. Personally at my institution in the last 2 weeks nilimpoteza mwanafunzi mmoja ambaye aliuawa na local community, and the previous academic year pia kuna mwingine alidungwa visu sana. So hii najua itasaidia. Saizi landlords pia juu nini ya maisha imekuwa juu, wamepandisha bei za nyumba. Sasa Comrades hata inabidi wengine wanakesha shuleni kwa kujifanya eti wana watch mpira, lakini ni kwa sababu huko amefungiwa nyumba. Na nasema ukweli, sidanganyi, si propaganda. So hawa Comrades, and then umejua hapa Coast, ukiwa kwa nyumba ndio utahisi joto, lakini ukilala nje inakuwa unahisi baridi. Sasa hapo tuangalilie na umuipush haraka sana. And then nilikuwa naomba pia katika wale ambao watakuwa katika ujenzi wa the fundis, Comrades pia wawekwe pale, wakuwe kama watu wa mikono, kwa sababu hii Kenya so far it is who knows who ili upate kazi. That's the Kenya that we are in today. ni kwamba umemjua nani pale ambaye atakushika mkono. Sasa wakati hiyo ujenzi utakuwa unafanyika kama Pwani University, at least Comrades pia wapate kazi pale. Kama ni TUM pia wanafunzi wapate kazi hapo. Asanteni.
And we are the leader of society. So you don't have to know anyone else. You know you know the leader of society. So you're in safe hands.
Hello. Comrades power. Comrades power. My name is Aaron Korin. I'm from Mombasa. My question goes to our peers. Our peers, for us KMTC students, life is very hard. That's for sure. After school, we find it very hard to find opportunities to work in hospitals. When you go to hospital, you are told that you have to pay some amount, amounting to maybe over 300,000 to just secure a slot in a hospital. So, how are you working with the Ministry of Health to address this issue? And I would like to urge you to come to KMTC students, talk to them, and engage them on your issues of employment. Maybe you work more on domestic employment rather than the abroad one. We really appreciate that one. And my second question goes to our president, our young Gen Z. How are you providing inclusivity in all of us, those that may be joined leadership? Maybe you become one person as comrades, because some comrades don't even know what you are doing and where you are. So how will you address that one as a Gen Z president? Thank you.
I'd love a lady. Wanaume wametokelezea wengi sana. Aya, tafadhali.
So I would like to pose my question to Mr. Maina about the issue of insecurity in campuses, and also as our party is mending issues in relation to health, let them also provide how do you call this, equipment that supports the causes that students are doing in school. For example, medicine or IT. Let them be able to provide equipment that advance our knowledge on this. Thank you.
I can only give one more bonus question. The commitment was for 3. So, can I get one? Okay, okay, I'll take care of that. One question, please. Proceed.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Kevin Buvi from Kenya Coast National Polytechnic. So, particularly the issue with this government, or our government, is policy making. We are so good of making policies in the parliament, in the ministries, but down here to us, the comrades, what about us? How do we communicate to you? It's a good thing you brought the comrade chapter. After us, the Gen Z, we went out to the streets. If it was not for our efforts, atungekuwa hapa. See, it's true, comrades. Comrades power. So these policies we are making, are they really favoring us as the youths? That is the question. The policies. The another issue, it's help. Please, you guys from help, disburse our money. Disburse our money. That is our plea. And the last one, msiguse help. Msiguse murima, msiguse help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. But, the last question here, there was a gentleman here. Bring it here, down here.
No.
I'll give you your time. Let's have a seat. Have a seat. So that you also listen to me when I talk. You cannot talk over me. So relax.
Comrades power! Comrades power! Comrades power! So I'm Kabao Clinton. I'm the president, Lamu Universities and Colleges Student Association. And I'll start by a follow-up to the president. The last town hall meeting, I was seated there where the PS is seated currently. And this message is to the president. President, sir, You promised the comrades of Lamu that you'll give us 300 sponsorship slots to sponsor 300 students from Lamu. The comrades have been texting me in my WhatsApp. They are telling me, hey, Mr. Lais anatupanga tena sijui nini. So I went back to my county, Mr. President, sir. I followed up on the issue. And niliambiwa ni story ya jaba. So sijui ni story ya jaba kutoka penye uliniambia uko umesimama hapo ama kwa county yetu. Thank you. The second one is to the PS. It itches me a lot, and it itches a lot of comrades here tukisikia kwamba we are giving out our energetic, empowered youth to other countries. And I quote what Mr. Maina said in Giriama, Rorutare jaoni kukaruhukaga, kwamba we are the youth who our parents are looking after. Then tumesomeshwa, tumepelekwa tukasaidia nchi za nje. Mbona msichukue sisi comrade, mwende mtusomeshe nchi za nje, alafu tulete hiyo ujuzi kwetu? Unaona, si mnatusomesha huku, alafu mnatuchukua, mnatupeleka tusaidie nchi zingine. Unaona hiyo maneno hayaingi. Alafu kitu ingine, niko on the same question on concerning labor. Thank you. We have the port of Lamu. That port of Lamu, to us the youth from Lamu and to us the youth from Coast, is like inaitwa area 51. Hatujaiona, hatujaiingia. Hiyo port inafaa iajiri wanafunzi, comrades wote wa Coast. I tell you, hata hawatoshi kufix labor yenye iko pale. Hatupei hiyo kazi, tunaenda kupewa kazi za abroad. Does that really make sense? No, it doesn't. The last question to Mr. Maina. I'm from Lamu. Na comrade wameniambia niongelee hii concerning the housing. One, in Lamu hatuna hata msingi, hata hatujui kama kuna kitu kama housing. Haijajengwa. Niko na comrades wangu hapa wametoka TVET, wamefanya plumbing, masonry and stuff. Wananizanga chairman, hata nafasi moja bana, hata si to implement, tufanyishe mikono yetu kazi. Hakuna. Tuliambiwa na serikali tutaletewa hii housing, at least tutumie the local resources, the local youth. Hakuna. Visit Lamu. Alafu kitu ingine I was asking, I have my identity card as a comrade. Umetuambia tuanze familia and we're building houses. Hatuna nyumba. I have my identity card. Can I access a house? Hawa comrade wanaweza pata hizo nyumba zikijengwa. Kindly address that one. Thank you. And kama itapewa kwa macomrade, ikuwe cheap kidogo. Ama ni vipi comrade? Hata si tupate nyumba bana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd love them to respond to those questions done. Then I will bring in the Secretary General to do the closing remarks, and then Gitonga, wherever you are, you will be doing a vote of thanks. But there are a few things that I need to respond to quickly. First of all, on movie.
I'll not take you through the whole policy thing, it's so long, so I'll reduce it into just 3 steps. There are 3 P's of policy that there is a problem. Around every problem, there is the second. Third one, you come up with a program to solve that particular problem. Now, whatever you are saying that we have policies that do not involve you, we are here. This is part and parcel of policy making. At problem level, that is where we are dealing with the data. Hii energy yote, your effort, hii feelings, hiyo ni policy making. You are part and parcel of this particular process. And you are not an outsider. The Constitution 2010 makes you a co-governor with the peoples you lead. You are a co-leader with the people that we have. There are no led and the leaders. You are this republic. Kenya is you, just as UDA is you. Na tuko na side yako, by the way. There is not them versus us. We are in this together. Sasa Mbuvi. So they will take care of that. The other question he asked and he brought up, I think the Secretary General will take up the issue on the follow-up on that. It's just recently muliongea juzi, hata finance bill tangia tuangushe, bado tunatengeneza ingine. His Excellency will actually take care of that, and that you actually have passed the message in the right forum. Do not be afraid, the SG will take care of it. Na by the way tuko na treasurer wetu hapa hivi. Huyo ndio msemo mwenye ako na kachele. Huyo hiyo itashughulikiwa. Sawa sawa. So do not be worried. Also, as young people, let's also just remember one thing, that as we talk to each other, we've invited each other so that we talk to each other. I'd love us to always keep it respectful. I'd love us to actually keep it energetic. But over and above, usifunge roho yako, usijifungie. We will not force you to be politically correct. Fungua roho yako, but also ask your question in a manner that can be responded to. Sawa sawa. Quickly, kabisa, I'd love those guys that have not said, did not speak in the first round. Where's the microphone, kindly? Kindly, bring the mic.
Niko na swali, please.
I'll give you that chance. Nipatie tu mic. I'll do. She's a lady. I cannot say no to a lady. Oh, do you think I am? Adam nipigi makofi. As in, why should I say no to her? So I'd love them to respond, and then as the SG will be making his way here, I'd love her to actually ask that question. Sawa sawa. We give her a special place. Sawa. So kindly, a minute each, so that we move very fast.
For me, I would like to respond to a question by my intellectual friend, the engineer. It's related to the fact that you say comrades are go-getters. Comrades go for what they want. And with that, I wanted to respond in regards to the digital economy that is there. Currently, we have over 274 digital hubs. These digital hubs are meant not to just directly give comrades or people employment, but indirectly be able to give skills so that you can be able to access the internet and get the money that is there. We have talked about the digital economy, and the least I can be able to tell you the amount of money that we can make in Instagram. Me personally, on experience level, I want to respond to you. When you finish school, there's no jobs, things are not working out for you. I went to Instagram, did that whole theme page on food, because that is my passion, and I made money in food, and I made a lot of money because we were able to have an environment that was conducive enough for me to be able to get fast internet, for me to be able to get a direct market that is out there for my product. Right now, so many young people that I know of, they are utilizing the power of the digital economy, and it's not like it's not intentional. Everything that the government is doing is so purposely intentionally, so that we can create the conducive environment that we need, so that we can be able to tap into the market that we are at. Money is there, and it's available when you go look for it in the digital economy. Trust me, that is what I wanted to respond to. Thank you.
Kuhusiana na swali la ndugu Omara kwamba Kilifi kuna tatizo la maji. Kazi ya Coast Water, sisi tunauzia maji water service providers, county government. County government zinauzia maji mwananchi. Tatizo lililoko Kilifi, na tumejaribu tuwezavyo kutafuta wasaa wa kuongea na governor wa Kilifi, lakini amekataa kukutana na sisi. Jambo ni kwamba Kilifi tunawapatia maji, county government ya Kilifi tunawapatia maji, lakini county government ya Kilifi inachukua pesa kwa wananchi kwa kuwauzia maji, lakini wao hawatulipi sisi deni letu la maji. Last 2 weeks tulifunga maji, tukaambia county government ya Kilifi tumeshindwa kulipa stima. Kenya Power iko hapo inataka kulipwa, hatuwezi kulipa pesa kwa sababu pesa haijalipwa. Wakapeana undertaking kwamba tupatie mpaka tarehe 24 kwamba tutalipa. Tarehe 24 imefika, hawalipi, hawashiki simu, tukafunga tena. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali za county, wakati tukiingia ilikuwa hata Mombasa inadaiwa pakubwa, lakini wamejaribu, wanalipa. Kwale county bado wako nyuma, lakini tunajaribu kuzungumziana na wao ili waendelee kufanya malipo ili tuweze kupeana maji kwa wananchi kwa njia ya sawa na ya haraka. Jambo la pili, sisi vijana hapo tumekaa, najua kuna maswali tunajiuliza. Wale wako pale wanaongea kwa vile wao tayari yao yanawaendea. Hilo ndo swali liko katika akili zetu. Always thinking negatively. We are not thinking positively. Sisi pia tulikuwa hapo. maandamano yenye muliandaa, mimi niliandaa maandamano nikiwa Eldoret. Kwa hivyo the same language you are speaking is the same language we are speaking. The thing iliyoko ni hivi. Wakati Fatma Barayani anasema anaweza kupeana loan ya 20k, wengine wetu wanasema sasa hii 20k nitafanyia nayo nini? Ama wakati Hustler Fund ilivyokuja, wengine wetu wanasema sasa GT5 nitafanyia nayo nini? Punch 500 nitaanzia wapi? But let me tell you for real, my brothers and sisters, nyinyi ndugu zangu na ni agement zangu. Nilipokuwa kampo, hiyo 500 mimi aiwishi ingekuwa wakati wangu kwamba inapeanwa kwamba kuna kitu inaitwa Hustler Fund. Tuliishi, sikizeni kwa makini.
Comrades power! Comrades power! Viva Comrades viva! Tuliwasikiza, tumpe tu dakika moja amalize. Sisi kuongea anaongea, sisi tunaongea, sawa? Haya basi, maliza. Mpeni wakili dakika tafadhali.
Unajua hata kama inatuumiza tumeze kidogo, lakini to inculcate into our lives. Sisi pia tuliumia na tukakubali kutumwa. Kitu iliyoko ni kwamba pale Coast Water tunapata attaches, watu wanaomba kufanya attachment. Lakini mtu anakuambia nitafanya attachment vipi sijalipwa. There is a law ambayo iko pale kwamba attaches hawalipwi. Na hiyo attachment inakuhitaji wewe, ni muhimu kwako kusaidia build up your experience. Kitu unasema ni kwamba tujitume na tujitolee ndugu zanguni. Maisha ni ngumu, lakini hata sisi wenyewe pia tunasaidia kufanya ugumu. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Asante sana, ningependa tuende huko, tutarudi hapa baadaye.
Comrades power. Comrades power. Now, let me begin from UDA Comrades chapter. Now from this conversation, ningeomba mnisikize because I'm going to spit a lot of truth to my fellow Gen Zs. So as I said, I'm Kipto Ignatius, maybe Maliba. Yeah.
And then you take just 3 minutes, useme ukweli kama umesimama hapo because it's the best form of intimacy.
Yes.
So this is an intimate hour. Simama.
Yeah, now the Comrades chapter. The reason as to why we are here is because of the Comrades chapter. Na kujibu Shafi, Msema unaitwa Shafi. Umeongelea ukasema you have the information. Na I believe from all the conversations tumekuwa hapa, from the treasurer hadi PS akasema, tukaenda another sector. For example, wangapi wako na passport sahi? How many? It's a quarter of the room, ndio? Wangapi wanajua the online jobs? Wangapi wanajua the details, the specific details of those online jobs? So, nikirudi tu from the maandamano, the weapon that people used there, it was social media. Now, there's another weapon, enye sisi kama the youth tulikosa. It's the weapon of documents. From that point, as we know the president is there, right? But the theme of this UDA Comrades chapter, it is Comrades for Inclusive Leadership in the Political Process. When I entered in office as the president, I entered in November, and there is a lot I've learned from November to this period. So as you sit there, if you want to implement something, by the way, you cannot do it alone. It's in sync, it's synchronized. There are offices, there are institutions, kuna hizo vitu zote. And that's why we really wanted this UDA Comrades chapter to be there. Because, as I said, we don't have the information of, if, for example, you have said you want to be, the MCA seat to be given to the youth. You know, there's the constitution, and the SG has said clearly, amesema hapo will be doing discrimination. So if you want this seat to be for the Gen Zs, you know the laws are being made in the parliament, sindio? So with that thing in mind, if we educate ourselves here, tukiendelea 2027, if we want to change anything, now you'll be knowing that if I want to change this, as Shafi alone, I cannot do it alone. We need to be in sync. And I know in 2027 there'll be a transition of politics. I know that the weapon we use in maandamano, it will be another weapon in 2027. If you don't want this person, na kila mtu anajua atachukua kura, si ndio? I know it will be a transition. So the reason why we have this chapter is because of now to have all those details. We have said the main thing is inclusive leadership. Sini sawa? Another thing, kuna hiyo, what we should be doing, the people in the government, needs to do the specific details. Sawa? Kama passport size it's 7,500. Why can't it be subsidized? Ama ikuwe free for anyone? No. Another thing, if those jobs are there abroad, can it be done remotely from Kenya? Can we do, let's say, a presentation here of there are these jobs. Comrades, you can do this and this from your own space. So as much as we are frustrated, even me was frustrated during that period. That's why we have done this thing. And you have seen our chair has done an excellent job. That is Bwana Korir. That's why even Maliba is calling me Korir. And I've said my name is Kipto. I'm a 5th year engineering student. Sini sawa? So what we need to do going forward, ni kuandika hizo policies. There's something called policy. Hata nikiwa university, when I want to hold an event, there's something called policy. Now we need to understand those policies. If we want to change those policies, because even today, if the PS wants to give someone a job, it's synchronous. Kuna chain. Sawa? So hizo chain do what we need to understand. Don't watch assumptions. We have the sufficient information and to do the job in a very excellent manner. So I want to appreciate my committee, led by the chair, Bwana Korir, for this, and we'll do more. Sini sawa? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mine is a comment, and I'm going to be extremely brief. Aziza talked about opportunity, kama kuna opportunity in the acting career and all. Yeah, but then I would like to say that the Kenya Kwanza government is the only government that actually came out very clearly and said they want to work on the creative economy. Since the beginning of time, there has never been any other government. And kuna kitu moja Asiago dada yetu amesema. Ameongea juu ya opportunities as a lawyer. And I would like to say that everyone seated here can work in the creative industry. How? We are in need of lawyers. We actually have very few lawyers that talk about things like copyrights and all, especially to the artists. So unapata even representation ya wasanii by lawyers is extremely rare because so many lawyers never take up those kind of opportunities. We have accountants, we have program managers, we have consultants, we have cooks, producers, photographers, videographers, marketers, ecologists, security, drivers, actors, makers. I mean, we have all professions in the creative industry. I'll tell you for a fact, if this gentleman standing here with cameras were not here, we would not be streaming anywhere. So the creative industry is the only industry that will actually make all other industries visible. And that is why I feel like the government of the day did not ignore this, because the GDP that comes out with the creative industry is extremely high. And we cannot actually ignore the industry because of that. So I would like us to look at the creative industry in a different manner. You as an accountant seated here, why are you not seeking opportunities from productions? It's not only actors. Personally, as an actor on the screen, there are 40 people who are just waiting for me so that this can be aired. 40 who are doing different jobs behind the scenes. So I need us all as students, we look at things differently. We look at the creative industry differently. Because I want to believe that the creative industry is one of the industries that is able to actually employ a lot of young people. Why? Mboto has talked about the digital space. So let's look into that and let's grab these opportunities, because we are the future. We are the people that are in these spaces at the moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'd love us to close, but I made a promise to a lady, and that promise must be kept. So kindly, a question briefly, and then I bring in the SG. Okay, she asked the question. I saw the other questions that had been asked were directed to the PS and Director James Minor. So kindly, a question straight, this is out of honor that you asked, and you are a lady, so I'll grant it. Please.
Thank you. Sasa naongea na Mr. Tayari. Mr. Tayari, KPA wewe ndo star hapo. Mimi ninakuwa KPA miezi 3 kama atachi. Na hapo kuna wazee wengi sana wenye yani hiyo kazi hawaiwezi, lakini ni hawawezi tuwasaidia, lakini sisi kama vijana hiyo kazi hatupendi, na wale wazee hawawezi kabisa. Sasa hiyo chance Mr. naomba ni utupe, kwa sababu wale wazee hawawezi. Mimi nilikaa hapo miezi 3 tuwafanya kazi wao wamekaa tu, si tu wamechoka lakini hawatoki, mtupe si kazi.
Asante sana. That's a direct question. Bwana tayari ashatayarisha hayo, kwa hivyo mtaongea. Yes, we will be and director.
Nitaje tu pengine tumie nyingine basi. Kwa haraka lile swala ambalo limeulizwa kuhusu kazi mtaani merudi. Lakini ni on matters environment. Kwa hivyo wameanza huko Nairobi kusafisha Nairobi River, alafu polepole wataingilia pia sekta zingine ili vijana waweze kupata kazi, hata kama ni kitu kidogo ambacho unapata kitakusukuma, kwa sababu kazi ni kazi. So it's back. In essence, what I'm trying to tell you is it's back. It begins with Nairobi, but it will grow even to other areas. Then there was the question from KMTC, if I'm right, inviting me to go and talk to the young people there. Yes, kabisa, it's a capital WES. I interacted with medical students from Methodist University just about 3 weeks ago. And it is my aim to interact with all the medics across the board because we have a program for them. Then nikuje kwa Shafi. I'm happy that we are having an intellectual discourse. And I want you also to give me a hearing. Nimekusikiza vile ulivyosema, but nisikize mimi pia kama PS. Kijana amemaliza university. Amefanya degree ya kwanza. Ametafuta kazi, amekosa, ameenda masters. Amemaliza bado anatafuta kazi, hajapata. Tell me the truth. Nimweke huyu kijana parking nikimwambia kwamba asubiri mpaka uchumi upanuke ndo apate kazi? This is a young person who wants to establish himself, to establish a family, to grow and develop. So what I'm asking you also kindly to give me an ear on, even if it's a 3-year contract, by the time he comes back, he has experience and he has resources. Let me give you an appropriate example. Waziri mmoja ambaye alikuweko kwa cabinet hii ambayo ilivunjwa juzi, Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria worked in the Middle East as a financial expert for a number of years before he came back home, not only to invest but also vie for a political position. He didn't waste himself as he was waiting at awekwe parking mpaka kazi iweze kupatikana. What I'm appealing to you to understand is, instead of leaving, yourself to stay idle, people talk of brain drain, but on the opposite, there is also brain gain. Go, work, make your savings, come back home and invest. And I thank you.
Thank you. There are specific questions which were directed to me and to the State Department for Housing. Vincent, you mentioned that you'd want the work that constructions that will be undertaking in the schools and TVET and universities, building hostels to be given to US students. My answer is yes. We already have a program to partner with the TVET or products that can be made by students as a way of training, and they are related to the construction of that project. They'll be given directly to the university. And you students, you also get these jobs. However, remember you are a student. You went to get the education, so don't spend time kwa hiyo mjengo and forget about your books. But in terms of getting jobs, yes, we are ready to do that. Kazi mtaani. The concept of kazi mtaani originally was a stepgirl, because then it was during COVID, if you remember. And There was lockdown and people were told to keep distance. However, we found that it was practically not possible to keep people, particularly in formal areas where they live probably in a 10 by 10 small house, which we are addressing now with the affordable housing, that the product conditions that we don't expect people should live in. And since it was between, either you die of COVID or you die of food, and the choice was very limited. It's a lockdown, people don't have money, they cannot go to work. So Kazi Mtaani was introduced to get people out to do something and get some food, get some money and be able to get food. And Kazi Mtaani ended with COVID. However, we have realized the importance of that, and thank you for mentioning that it was really helping the youth. We have been developing a different concept. Remember, Kazi Mtaani, most of the work that was not done today, you cannot see it. But what we are doing now is work that can be seen, and it's being linked to environment. We have changed the concept. We are calling it Climate Works. We are starting with Nairobi, and from 1st of October, we will be starting with Nairobi and ensuring that Nairobi is the river sewage, and we ensure that we have changed Nairobi River, and we are also doing houses along the river within the outside the demarcated area of the Riparian River, so that we also prevent encroachment to the Riparian River. And it is going to go to all the cities within the Republic of Kenya, Mombasa being one. So we are coming to Mombasa. Number 2, Mkoe in Lamu, we have an affordable housing. We do have, and the contractor is site. We are doing 400 units. Last month, we took the contractor to site. It has taken some little time, but now construction has started. We are also doing, in our program, as I mentioned, in Lamu, we have 2 projects for student accommodation, which we are going to run in the next few days. We are going for advertisement. The designs are ready. We will be working on KMTC and ADVERTISE. I think it's 15 if my mind is correct. But there are 3 TVC, there are 3 colleges, 1 a KMTC and 2 vocational training. We are taking the KMTC and the colleges. The other bigger question is accessibility to these houses. Listen carefully, guys, because this is the roadmap for you to own an affordable house. And before I mention about owning an affordable housing, let me speak just a little about the concept of affordable housing in terms of owning. The Affordable Housing Fund that was created through a levy of 1.5% from the revenue from your earnings and from the employer is being used for 3 things. One is the provision and construction of affordable housing. 2 is to finance house ownership through mortgages. So we have various categories of houses, with the cheapest house going to around 780,000. This house is a full house with a kitchenette and with a toilet. And it has a space, you can put a bed and you can put a seat. That's the space. In terms of ownership, the fund can fund you to own this house over a long period of time. Remember, data in Kenya shows that mortgages in Kenya are only 27,000 against a population of 56,000. That is unacceptable. It is worst inequality in the world.